Y'all are probably still watching that Georgia game. Gotta get me a more secure table. This thing is just bouncing around like crazy. Okay. I didn't do a real good job on my timing of this live. I thought the Georgia LSU game started at 3. It actually got started about 3:25. And so normally those things take 3.5 hours, sometimes 4. And so I'm not optimistic that a lot of people are going to show up on the live, and that's all right because they're probably watching the game, getting ready for Clemson and North Carolina, and we're getting ready for Michigan and Purdue. Not that that's going to be much of a game. I don't think that's going to be much of a game, really. But enter, sign in. Give me your lay some wisdom on me. Man, I got some great comments on the past couple of days. Excuse me. I've got some, just going to share some of those to start out with. Anthony Richards. TCU will still get in, but Bama and Tennessee deserves in over Ohio State. This is what everyone means by getting rewarded for an easy schedule and BS politics. Thanks, Anthony. Wayne Starnes. Ohio State gets in, I think, not Bama. TCU is still going to get in with their resume. Their resume? What the hell are you talking about? They don't have a resume. They have some wins, but it's not against very tough teams. Sorry. Not compared to Alabama or Tennessee, for that matter. We're going to have two teams, not from the SEC, that aren't conference champions, that are going to get in the playoffs. That's TCU and Ohio State. But the Vols can go to the Orange Bowl now and play Clemson without Ohio State's entitlement being a factor. That's a great comment. Wait, I'm going to give you a little heart and a love there. Remander, I think TCU, even with the loss, stays in over Bama. I hope you're right. It's one OT loss in a conference title game. Bama had 2 regular season losses. In fact, TCU may stay at 3. Boy, you are optimistic. And Ohio State at 4. I don't think either one of them should be in there myself. But Bama goes to 5 and Tennessee goes to 6. Thank you for the comment, Remander. Jack Lee's War Room. If Bama gets in over us, do you think mattresses will burn like in 2009? I hope not. Nothing worse than the stench of a dirty, burning mattress. Thanks for the comment. Nobody says, well, TCU lost. He sure did. Kevin Reimer, whether Tennessee gets in or not, we should be in front of Alabama and waiting on the chance to move into a Final Four spot. Now, I agree with you, Kevin. I am not advocating that Tennessee should be in the playoff. I think they have a hole. They're not a balanced team. They're as exciting a football team as anyone in the country. Okay, but they're not quite balanced yet. And I go over all of that in the past couple of videos. If you go look at the SC video where I explain the defense and the balance and that sort of thing, which is why, I told you that Southern Cal, the wheels were going to come off at some point. I told you, TCU, the wheels were going to come off at some point because they're not balanced. Tennessee is not balanced, right? They're exciting as hell, but they're not balanced. It's going to take a couple of years to get some talent in there on the defensive side to make them a more balanced football team. Michael Kobach. However, at least the committee would have to show their anti-Vols bias if the Vols hadn't shat the bed. They did an Amber Heard in the bed, didn't they, Michael? They sure did. Talking about the SEC, the South Carolina loss. Purple Einstein says, the Einstein in me just loves your usage of analytics. Thank you. I'm a big fan of analytics. I love it. I love looking at them. I sure do. Hang on a second. Let me pop back over here and see who's in. All right. Look, everybody's here. Make it happen, says, I think North Carolina has a shot at beating Clemson. Nope. Not going to happen. I respectfully disagree with you. I put that I broke that down in the Big Boss Static College Football Computer today. I showed you why. They are as out of whack in terms of balance, in terms of their alignment. They're like this, and in crunch situations, those wheels just get going like this, and the wheels eventually fall off. I think they're an exciting team to watch. I think that quarterback is really good, but I don't think they have a chance to beat Clemson. Be interesting to see. I was wrong once. is in the house. Better not let Bama in. Hate the Bama bias. I do too, brother. Wayne Nix. I want to play North Carolina. Okay. Well, it'd probably be an exciting game. But Dabo Swinney needs to have an ass kicking for the smack talk he was laying down on Tennessee and then about South Carolina and then going to get his ass beat. But South Carolina too. Let's see. Make it happen. It honestly doesn't matter who gets in. Georgia is repeating regardless. 100% make it happen. Arter Wolf, 216. Go Vols. Let's second that. TK81. Vols to the Sugar Bowl. Okay, haven't done the math yet. So the Vols to the Sugar Bowl. If Alabama... That's the one good thing about Alabama. If they get in, we probably end up in the Sugar Bowl. But if Alabama is ahead of us and they're not in the top 4, they will go to the Sugar Bowl. That's my understanding. Somebody correct me if I am wrong. Like I said, I was wrong once. I do not remember when that was. Somebody told me. Let me get back to these great comments. I appreciate you guys so much. Dirty Bird Fan 16. If Bama gets in, it's nothing but bias and money grabbing. Bama is the number 4 team in the SEC, for crying out loud. Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, and Bama. 100% correct, Dirty. If they drop USC for losing in a conference championship game to the only team that beat them in the regular season by 1 point, in lieu of Ohio State, that didn't make it to their championship game and were blown out at home, then Clemson winning their championship, man, you need a roadmap for this one. Then Clemson winning their championship game would have a much stronger argument for getting in ahead of Bama, in my opinion. Yes, UT should be ranked ahead of Bama, but neither of us got the championship game. Yeah, I agree. And yes, all of this would have been moot if, or as Joey said on Friends, moo. Y'all remember that episode? Yeah, the point is moo. Joey, it's not moo. Well, of course it is. It's like a cow. It's like a moo point. I don't know. That was random. I just thought I would share it. I just saw that in a highlight gag reel a couple days ago. Anyway, Dirt 8955. After watching Utah last night, I don't know how they lost any games this year. They looked awesome. They sure did. Our Vols let it slip away, and the committee will do anything to get Bama in the playoffs. Well, the bottom line is this. Bama did not earn the playoff this year on the field. Period. The end. University of Tennessee did not earn the playoff this year on the field. Right? But you can't put Alabama before and ahead of Tennessee. And here's why. Tennessee beat them head to head. And one of their people are saying, using the excuse, well, Alabama just like lost 1 point, to LSU. And well, that doesn't matter. A loss is a loss is a loss. And if you're going to use that logic, Tennessee buried the team, LSU, that beat Alabama. So, come on, man. My man, music from me, 007. Remember I told you that guy from Ohio State? Music from me. Go Buckeyes, he says. And I said, ha, there's my buddy. There's your redemption. Brandon, Scott, TCU still gets in if they lose today. Ohio State might get in, though, because USC is garbage. USC is not garbage. But they are a flawed team. They don't have the kind of defensive efficiency that you need to be running up there with the Eagles, flying up there with the Eagles like Georgia. Harold Farquad, USC just got demolished last night. No way they're in, correct? Let's all hope TCU takes care of business today. If Alabama backs their way into the playoff, I will personally raise the entire city of Tuscaloosa to the ground. Harold, Mr. Farquad, come on now. We don't even be burning cities to the ground, I don't think, over this, do we? I'm not delusional to think Tennessee would have a great shot to win the Natty, but they're the best two-loss team out there, and no way should Alabama get in over them. James Lewis says, corrupt as the government. James also says it's not football, it's a popularity contest. Those are excellent comments. Thank you all. Let me get back to you over here in the chat window. Let's see. Who's in the Sugar Bowl? Make it happen. We need to hit that transfer portal hard for the back end of our defense. I'm right there with you. Wayne Nix, we have had bad luck against Clemson in postseason games. My memory is not fresh on that subject. You'll have to remind me, Wayne. TK81, yes, if Bama gets in, Vols to the Sugar Bowl. Okay, well, that's what I thought. And so as it will stand, hey, Chewy, as it will stand, if Alabama stays at 5, or if Alabama goes in at 4, we're at 5, we go to the Sugar Bowl. But if Alabama's at 5 and we're at 6, then they go to the Sugar Bowl, and we go to the Orange Bowl. But it's nice to know. It's nice to know that we would. I'm sorry, I got distracted here from Clemson offense is atrocious. We would beat them. Their offense is atrocious. Well, I think their quarterback is atrocious. That's the problem. He's just not very good anymore. He never he never matured. He never got past that, senior and sophomore year excitement. He never really developed. Their defense is quite good, actually, I think, based on my numbers. So if Bama gets in, Vols Super Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Yeah. So where's it going to be? What's it going to be like? It's going to be Georgia. It's going to be Michigan. And then who goes into the 3 slot? Let me hear it. What do you all think? Who goes into the 3 slot? Are USC and TCU both out? Like out? Do they drop below Tennessee? Or does Tennessee, and keeping in mind, they're both one. Well, I guess USC will be below Tennessee. They have to be because they're a two-loss team. But TCU is only a 1-loss team, so people are think it's a popular opinion that TCU is going to stay in the 4, right? Wayne Starnes, Alabama does not deserve to be in the playoffs. I agree, period. I said that the very first comment I made. The Vols deserve it more than Bama at 10-2. Of the committee doesn't put, if the committee, I would imagine, doesn't put TCU in the playoffs, then I'm done with college football. Wayne, you are not. You are not. You love college football. You can't live without it, just like the rest of us. You'll be mad for a week or two, or till next season, or to the spring game, because you want to see how Nico's going to do in the spring game, right? Clemson defense good is skewered by weak competition. Sure, quality defense, but we would still outscore them. I would love to play them. And that's more than likely, if we go to the Orange Bowl, that's who we're going to play. Wayne Starnes, yes. USC, yes. TCU, no. Wayne Starnes, Georgia, number 1. Michigan, number 2. They win tonight. 3, Ohio State. See, that's what I don't like, is we're going to have a Michigan and Ohio State rematch. I don't like that. Michigan is a much better team than Ohio State, my opinion. And then number 4, TCU. Thank you, Wayne, for that. I appreciate it. And then what? What happens at that point? Alabama is still above Tennessee at 5. Tennessee is at 6, and USC is at 7. Is that what we're thinking, Wayne? Why, Wayne? Why did we have to lose to USC Junior? USC Junior. That's funny. I thought USC Junior was UCLA. Maybe not. Just back here to the website and grabbing Randall Jones. It's sad, really. I'm so used to them taking shits on Tennessee helmets. I can't see straight. It's something every year. When will the committee realize that the hype is real? Granted, Hooker is hurt, but strength of schedule matters. We beat Bama. Therefore, we should be at the number 6 spot. It's obvious they hate the Volunteers. We might just have to wait for the next wave of committee members to come through. Maybe we will have at least one of them that likes us and will give us a fighting chance. Excellent comment. Thank you, Randall. Jordan Dozier, you were 100% right. Utah was a more balanced team last night. Thank you, sir. I work hard on analyzing that stuff. I love it. It's fun. And they look like, I wouldn't mind seeing Utah play Georgia, to be honest. I mean, that would be a good game. That's a fine football team. Remander, well, USC is out and OSU is back in. TCU looks to have a better chance against Kansas State than USC against Utah. Not so much. But we'll see later today. I thought Utah could win, but wow. I wonder how much of that was Caleb Williams not being 100%. Well, that guy's good. He is really, really good, but that's part of it. You get out there and you get knocked around and you can't go 100%. Well, that's just the way it is. Welcome to football, right? Couth Hillbilly. All right. There's a name for you. The only plus for the Vols from the Trojan loss is that we will likely get the consolation of the Orange Bowl. USC never deserved to be in the top 10. Top 10, maybe. The committee obviously puts too high a value on used Trojans. Oh, man, that's good. Couth Hillbilly. That's nice. Appreciate that. The CFP selection committee is a complete shit show. Imagine this was drag racing and them as the NHRA racing committee. Okay, I got to finish that. Oh, Lord have mercy. That is a big ass comment. So I'm going to let y'all go and read that one. That is by Antonio True. It's the CFP selection committee is a complete shit show. And so y'all can go read that one. That's too long for me to read right here. Katusa, relax. Number 2 lost team has ever. No number 2 lost team. Sorry. No 2 lost team has ever made the college football playoff. Okay. I believe you. That doesn't mean. Has a 3 loss team ever played for the SEC championship game? Just asking for a friend. Good grief, totally humiliating loss to South Carolina as a Vol fan. Even my tinted glasses, I can see why the CFP voted us out of the top 4. Well, can't really argue that. That's probably the reason. But they shouldn't put Alabama ahead of us. JG, I don't care about the top 4. We don't belong in the playoffs, but we deserve to be ranked ahead of Alabama. I'm on your side, Antonio. Good job. Man, you guys are terrific. Thank you for all the support and great comments. Let's see. Wayne Starnes, I don't know, because we'd definitely be in if we beat South Carolina. But it is what it is. You're right. TK81, yes, we would be 3. Damn it. Yeah, and that'd be a good spot, wouldn't it? Wayne Starnes, we should be number 5 after this weekend. TK81, do you want the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl? Well, there's more prestige in the Sugar Bowl. Because the Sugar Bowl is the top-ranking SEC team that isn't in the playoff. That's who gets to go from the SEC to the Sugar Bowl. So that's prestige, right? Somebody refresh my memory. I can't even remember who we would play if we go to the Sugar Bowl. Somebody pop up with that. I'm sure you know. I can't remember. I've been looking at numbers all day long. My eyeballs are fried. Wayne, I'd rather have the Sugar Bowl. Wayne, if not in the playoffs, that's the highest ranked SEC team bowl game. Yes. Anthony Richards, Ohio State ain't 1 or best 4. Steve Fowler, Tennessee should no doubt be 6th above Alabama, biased against Vols. TK81, the Sugar Bowl is in New Orleans, right? Correct. Yes. It'll be in the Superdome down there. Is it still called the Superdome? I'm sure it's not. But old school here. I'm sure it has some corporate name. Wayne Starnes, yes, Sugar's in New Orleans. Orange is in Miami. Both are better than the Cotton Bowl. You're right. I agree with most of you. Don't deserve to be in with no Hendo. And USC lost, but ahead of Bama. Hate Bama bias. Kansas State in the Sugar, that's who we play. Okay. They look pretty good today, didn't they? Yeah, they did. And that ain't too shabby, playing Kansas State in the Sugar. Interesting. Let's see here. Kansas State, sure, Clemson. Anthony Richards, Clemson. If they win tonight, we would play Clemson if we were in the Orange Bowl, and Kansas State if we were in the Sugar Bowl. The Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Okay, gotcha. So one last thing. Let's clear it up so we can get to the games here. What do you think about Michigan, Purdue? Anybody got any thoughts on that game? I'll start it off. My thought is, let me just look at my sheet here. Yeah. Yeah, I got Michigan all the way here. And Michigan is really kind of the only one that I see covering one of these champions off the front end. They're a 16.5 favorite, and no, hang on. I'm gonna take that back. No. I just took them to win, not to cover, because their points per play. That's just like a 6-point advantage for Michigan, and so I put a lot of credence in that. But they have such a solidly balanced football team. No question they're going to win unless something, tragic happens. However, it seems like something tragic's already happened in that their running back, Corum, can't remember his first name, but he's out and having a knee surgery, I think, an ACL. Wayne Stingray, Michigan will win tonight. I agree. Wayne Starnes. Yep, Clemson has to beat UNC tonight. If not, it's UNC in the Orange Bowl. Correct. Wayne Starnes. Now, it seems to be the general consensus of opinion is that Ohio State is in and TCU is going to stay in because they just have one loss and they lost by a tiny little bit in the conference championship. So that seems to be the general consensus of not only this group, but everybody else in the media anyway. Not that I put a whole lot of stock in that, but so it looks like it's Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State in 3 and TCU in 4. And that's fine because Georgia would just bury them. And that'll be good to show them the difference in an SEC conference and that guy. What conference are they in? Big 12? That's such a lame conference. I took UNC to cover and Michigan to cover. Ooh, okay. Let me just check y'all out here. Michigan, UNC to cover 7. So you took UNC plus 7.5. Is that what I'm hearing you say? That'd be a close game. I have it close, but Clemson should win that game by 10 points. And I'm going to say 8 points, really. 7 or 8 points. Well, that's just kind of that's why I stayed away from the numbers on that one, because it's just right there on the cusp, 7.5, 7. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. And Michigan's a 16.5 point favorite, and the power rating says that they can cover 17.5. So we shall see. But I don't like the points per play metric. It's quite low with Michigan winning, but it's only 6 points. So no, it's not even 6 points. What am I talking about? It's only 4 points. So I don't like that. So I stayed away from the spread metric and am just calling Michigan to win. All right, kids, you guys have been fabulous as always. The Big 12 is always entertaining. Won't watch? No. What does that mean? Sorry, don't know what that is. Won't watch. Won't watch none of those games. Okay, gotcha. Dirty Bird fan. I think TCU should stay in. Ohio State in after USC loss, and that's it. Still think UT should be ahead of Bama, but I'd be happier facing Clemson in the Orange Bowl. Call it the Orange Bowl. Well, I hope all of you are right with Ohio State and TCU filling in the two losses, or the 3 and 4 slot. Anyway, we shall see. I hope we don't get. I hope we don't get a surprise and find a little stinky turd sitting there in 4 with a crimson jacket on. I'd hate that. Hey, thank you all. I appreciate you appreciating my channel. Thank you. And I will see you tomorrow with some kind of weekly wrap up. Take care and go Big Orange.